For our first story, we have I 25 female just watched my partner 25 male yell at his mom over an Amazon package link. Context: we've been together for 4 years. Currently staying with his mom to save for a house, but I just witnessed what I think to be a glaring red flag. An Amazon guy came to the door with a package that required a one-time code, so she came down, said the Amazon guy is here, I've been calling and texting, and he just exploded on her, slammed the door and said, do you see how she talks to me? She's impossible. I tread very lightly on their conflicts. I have had disagreements with my mom, but we always resolved them and ultimately apologized. I wouldn't want to insert my own experience into his relationship with his own mom, but it was almost scary the way he spoke to her over what I thought was nothing. I said to him I didn't think she said anything bad, and he goes, it's just her tone. Which, even if she had a tone, she's his mom. She deserves respect in her home she's nice enough to let us live in. We do pay her rent. I've always heard that how a man treats his mother is a reflection of how he's learned to treat women, but what do you think? Immediately after I went up to apologize to his mom, who was furious but also in tears and still got the package for him. That's the end of our first post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, I mean, this would have been a massive red flag if he yelled at the Amazon guy like this. Explosive anger is never okay. But that he unleashed this anger on his mom? And was so comfortable in this behavior that he both did it in front of you and then defended his actions? And his defense was, she made me do it with the tone of her voice. Girl. Our second commenter says, it's true. You are looking into your future. As much as people can hate their parents, you look to them to see how they'll look when they are older and a good idea of how they'll act, too. That's not necessarily true as far as how they'll act. My dad beat the shit out of my sister and I vowed I'll never do that to my wife or kids. But I'm goofy and dependable, which is two things my dad was when he wasn't in a mood. But anyhow, if he disrespects the only woman in his life that'll love him unconditionally, phew. Good luck. 'Cause you'll be really disposable as compared to her. Our third commenter says, my mother said to watch how a man treats his mother, and know that is how you will be treated eventually. You are correct in recognizing this as a red flag. For our second story, we have How'd I, 20 male, tell my 20 female partner that her brain rot is making her less linked. Think this type of humor can be funny once in a while, and I understand that it's a part of the culture of people our age. However, her vocabulary is full of just straight up brain rot to the point where it doesn't feel like just a joke anymore. Everything is endearing during the honeymoon phase, so I used to frequently joke back to her. But now it's hard to find Sigma or Hawk2a attractive, you know. It has gotten to the point where I cannot have a single conversation with her, in person or over text, where this type of language is not involved. I know this sounds so idiotic, but it genuinely turns me off when I try to have a normal mature conversation but she responds with just brain rot. The thing is, she can be serious when needed, and occasionally we'll have a good conversation. These are the moments that I look forward to, where I don't feel like I'm talking to an immature high school boy stuck in the body of an attractive woman. It's beginning to affect our sex life, as I'm finding it hard to get turned on by her. She's beginning to notice my lack of enthusiasm, and feels insecure about it. I feel guilty for feeling this way, as she shows me nothing but love and support. I love her so much, but this is the one thing that I cannot get over. I just don't know how to approach this subject to her because I don't want to hurt her feelings or make her feel self-conscious around me. I always try to reassure her when she's insecure, so I feel terrible bringing this up to her for fear of making her more insecure. She's a genuinely sweet, funny person, but the brain rot has gotten to be just too much for an adult. Edit. Sorry for my overusage of brain rot. Laugh out loud. Make that 9 times. I am referring to common terms frequently used on TikTok, other social media platforms. Example. Me. XYZ happened. Her. You guy it to be rizzing me. I understand the humor and I also use it from time to time. But I think it's hard not to get tired of something after excessive usage. I will have a conversation with her about it soon, and I realize my fault in this for not communicating clearly to her. Guess I was just concerned about making her feel less than and damaging her self-esteem. Thank you all for the advice, I will do better. Edit 2. Fixed the redundancy of the post. That's the end of our second post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, For anyone who doesn't know the term, brain rot, after reading it nearly a dozen times laugh out loud. It's like walking around all day in the 90s saying "What's up PPPP. Baba Booey. Schwing. ETA because this is cracking me up laugh out loud here's some context. Hey how's it going? WAZZUPPPP. Nice to meet you. I'm John. BBB Baba Booey. Oh the dress that girl is wearing is so pretty. Schwing GG. I imagine this gets old really fast. Our second commenter says, instead of a swear jar, make a skibbity jar? Lol just tell her brain rot makes you cringe. Be clear it's the words themselves, not her. Our third commenter says, looks disappear over time, but conversations will go on forever. It's important to at least be on the same level because that's where you guys are headed for the rest of your life. For our last story, we have update. Parents, 60 female and 53 male, asked me, 27 female, to do them a financial favor I was not comfortable with, told me I was worthless to them when I said I needed to think about it first. How to address. Here is the link to my previous post. Link. Thank you to everyone who commented for your thoughtful feedback and advice. I appreciate everyone's support and concern that I was potentially in financial danger. I no longer think I am at any financial risk and have obtained some resolution on the situation, if not what I was hoping for. After my stepdad's statement that I was worthless to them now, I did not reach out again and did not hear from them until today. My mother reached out over text as follows. Greater than, no worries about the X. We are good. I responded as follows. Greater than great, I am glad that you worked it out and I'm sorry that you had to deal with these extra challenges with X. Greater than I did feel quite blindsided by the way you and X reacted to me saying I was uncomfortable with it and wanted to think about the situation first. The things that were said were hurtful to me, and I didn't feel that it was fair. She responded with this. Greater than we were just proposing some options to help us. Your reaction was negative. I cannot do the mental gymnastics necessary to make calling me worthless, among other things, justified by my reaction being negative. I don't see how I can move on and let it go at this stage without her apologizing or at least acknowledging that what they said was hurtful. So, the financial situation is resolved, and at this stage I think I am going to give the relationship some breathing room for my own mental health. If anyone has any further advice given the above, I would be interested to hear it. Thank you again for all the helpful feedback. I'm amazed at the capacity of complete strangers to be so kind and supportive. That's the end of our last post. Let's see what the commenters had to say. Our first commenter says, what's worthless is two middle-aged adults not having their life together and needing their 20-something daughter to bail them out. I'll hear from you the next time your stupidity lays you low. Our second commenter says, take a long time out. I hope you check your credit and keep it frozen. Our third commenter says, wow, your mother is quite something isn't she? Personally, I wouldn't reach out to them for quite some time, because they are the ones that reacted negatively and lashed out at you, the person they went to for help. And apparently, it really wasn't something they needed help with, as they were able to figure it out themselves. I too would want an apology. It may be some time before you receive one, if you do at all. They've created this negative aura hanging over your relationship. They'll expect you to ignore it, sweep it under the rug, and then be mad when you don't. They don't see you as an equal adult, and they're mad you acted like one, instead of a child they can control. That's all for today. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.